So we want to continue working on that. Let's go see what we can see. In game, okay, so basically that means in the main scene, we want to create the hearts as a game object. Now they're gonna have to listen to our the life system of the player in order to know what they are, and perhaps that's gonna be the job of the. That's probably going to be the job of the main scene, sort of keep them up to date. So we can see like, yeah, we're inserting the player. Looks like now we want to insert the hearts. And I think that we can do that now. So I don't think that there's a problem with us saying that hearts equals... I guess we need to match this in order to return a game result. So match game object builder new. Okay, so dot location. Let's just put them anywhere for right now, and we'll figure it out exactly where we want to go. So like 50.5. Oh, this has to be a point too. To new. Hit 50.0, 50.0. Then our width for the hearts. So we could calculate this out. And I'm not exactly sure how I want to set this up. I'm guessing for right now, we'll have it be the width of the number of hearts that we're giving us. And so for our player lives, oh, right, because we have our config player lives. So our width should be the width of the heart image. And do we have that information? We could have it in the config. Or where do we have the hearts starting right now? I think maybe we even have that in the config. We have life image. Yeah, I guess like the position of it should probably just be the right hand side, and like the top, and whatever that means. And I guess like that's the width of the entire screen minus whatever the width of the sprites, like the number of images are. And so if we have the image here, we might need to pull in the images in order for us to get that width. But I think also we need to do the same thing where we have the heart width is separate from the is separate from the actual image width. So we separate those. So if we say life width, and you are, I think you're, do we know? This is pretty good for a width, it looks like. That's 32 by 32, so it's a 32 width. And so we can also... Okay, so our width is going to be same thing, config.lifewidth. Okay, then we have a draw system. Okay, so we could do a box new. It's gonna be a sum because it has to be. Oh, draw system has to be an option now, right? No, we give it here. It's an option later on. Okay, so we just give box new, and this is gonna be the hearts draw system. New, and it doesn't take anything in, it looks like. Okay. Then life system. Hearts doesn't have a life system. We have no physics system. And we don't need an as type. I remember we removed that. So then we can just build it. That gives us the hearts. And we can then insert that. Hello, stacking! Okay, so we have the game object types. You're going to be a heart, and we're putting in hearts. Oh, right. So then here we have okay. If you're okay, we have the heart, and we want to heart that. What does the heart draw system need to be in a box? Shouldn't a constructor have a known size at compile time? The main reason it's in a box is because it's a dynamic dispatch off of. So we have a generic game object. Where is it? We have a generic game object with a draw system. And so the heart draw system is like one thing, and then we have a player draw system. That's a completely different thing, but they expose the same methods. And so that's where the dynamic dispatch comes in. But the only way to do that is to put it in a box. And I have it being an option, so I can do testing without a draw system at all, which I think is actually nice. And if I ever need to clone this, I could clone it as a none. So does that answer your question, Seki? Okay, so we return the heart. And if we're in error, we're going to get the error. And I guess we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to panic and pass the error in. Okay, so that gives us the hearts. No errors now. Now we have the hearts in here. I then want to draw that out. So we're iterating. That should already work. We're iterating through the hearts in the draw method, and then we're just drawing them. So now in the draw system, what are you doing? Nothing. This is going to crash as soon as we try to draw the hearts. So we have the hearts as just a heart image, but I think we need to, in the image, in images here, we're going to want a sprite batch for life. So I think what we're going to want to do, and I'm not exactly sure how to, I don't necessarily think we can test this easily. At least I don't know how to. We're going to have a pub part sprite batch is a sprite batch. And then this is going to allow us to put one image in the sprite batch. So that's our life image. And then we can display this one image to the screen multiple times with only one draw call, which is much more efficient. So then here, we need to create that. All right, so Sprite batch, create a new one. Okay, and then we hand it the life dot. So we're going to clone life, that we have both of it in case we need it. Okay. So it creates a new Sprite batch, dry in a given image. Oh, and it's still just the same image behind the scenes because image is really just an arc. Interesting. And then we're going to expose that here. So then that means in our Hearts draw system, we have that images coming through. We can now manipulate the sprite batch and state what, like, the number of them that we're going to have. And this makes me wonder, does the draw system need an update loop? Or an update function that can be called during update? So, you know, updates is like little things about the draw. I don't know. It might be helpful since the draw, well, it's not our draw loop is not taking too long. It's the present is taking a long time. And this is hopefully going to reduce that down a little bit. Okay, so I want to take the present. I want to take the sprite batch and I want to duplicate that image. I haven't really looked at sprite batch at all. Let's go ahead and open up the docs for this. Okay. We want sprite batch. Fun. It makes it very slow in debug mode, but very fast in release mode. So that's fun. Okay, so we've already done the new to create the new sprite batch. Adds new sprite to the sprite batch. Okay, so I wonder if we need to add. Oh, does this input? Oh, it is okay. So it's a drawable, so I can just draw the sprite batch itself. So I'm really curious. Can I just draw this as it is right now? And so we're gonna do a. Okay, so draw. I know we just updated you. Oh, okay. They added this, I think. Import prefix. Here, let's activate all features and see what it automatically refresh when cargo metadata changes. Nice, nice. Okay, I think that will work. Also, it told me it needed to refresh, and then it didn't actually stick around for me to actually do that. So hold on, let me do it again and reload. Let's try with all features, see what happens. All right, so we're gonna do a graphics draw. Oh, it has to index everything first before it actually does the thing. Okay, draw. Pass it into context. Pass in a reference to the drawable. So that's going to be a reference to images dot part sprite batch, and then we have draw param new, and then okay, so dot dest, and then this is going to be location.x, location.y. Okay. And we'll just return that. And I'm kind of curious to see, does this work? Are we going to see a second heart? I don't think we're going to see multiple hearts yet. We're going to see the normal hearts that we had there previously. And then we're also going to see this other sprite batch heart. I was hoping. But I don't see them anywhere. I would have expected to sort of see them somewhere around here because we gave it like 50-50. So I'm thinking that we need to add the image to the sprite batch first. So what does that mean? How does that work? Self dot, oh, images dot part sprite batch dot. So it's like the set image. Is it add? Adds a new sprite to the sprite batch. This is not the best documented section of the app. Okay, and draw params essentially. So add and then draw params of what the image is and where it is on the screen. Is that it? So dot add, and then essentially this here. So we have draw. Okay, then we'll just do the default ones there. You return a sprite index, but we don't really, I don't know if I care about that. Graphics draw. Hold on, what do you? Okay, you don't return. Okay, so drop param new. You end here. I have double. And then you. Okay, what did I do wrong here? So here's the body of the draw method. So the first thing we want to do is images, heart, sprite batch. Oh, is that going to be a problem here? Because we're going to need mutable images? Maybe? You're part of draw. So you should be down like that. Drop params new. Let me go ahead and turn this on too. I keep on forgetting to do that. Let's see. You were not expecting that, meaning that I've got some kind of... So we return a game result, then open block. Okay, so images, heart sprite badge, add. Wait a second. We open. So 2, 1, 2, 1, one more closed. Now you need to be mutable. Okay, so I need to make you a mutable here, which means that you're no longer compatible with the trait. So I need to make you mutable here, which means I need to make you mutable here, which means I need to make you mutable here. And let's see, mute self, pass in, okay. Game object, draw. Okay, so we're gonna have, you need to be mutable here. And then in main scene, where's that error? Okay, then we need you to be mutable here. Method draw. Oh, so now game objects. Okay. This, the trait for game object is like not necessary. I don't think we need to do that at all. I think what we can do is take you. Like, I don't really think we need a scene. Because we're not like doing anything like throwing them in a hash map or anything else. But all right, what are you upset with? Draw has this one. Okay, so we need to go to scenes mod, update trait scene. Take immutable images here. Update all of you. Can you fix that? No. Wait, where's my error? Here you are. And one last mute here. No, not one last mute there. Cannot borrow images as mutable. It is not declared as mutable. So that's drop mute images, that mute images there. No errors. Okay, let's see if this gets an image to display to the screen because we added an image to the sprite batch. There it is. Okay, so we added the full image around it. Or we just told it where to go, the destination of the image. Who would have known that one change could break almost every line of code? I know. But the really nice thing about Rust here is that was pretty simple for me to like go back through and just update it and change it. So the one draw is expensive. Just to draw this one heart. But apparently it's gonna be free, or at least close to free, to draw a second heart. So let's do that now. We're gonna come back into what is it? Oh, it's gonna be our draw system. It's gonna be our hearts draw system. We have this add. So if I just duplicate this again, but maybe I add the width. I need to add like the width to this. So I'll just do like 35.0 here. So to shift it a little bit over to the right, we could actually just use the config dot life width. Oh, and you'll be heart image. Images dot heart sprite patch dot add here. Okay, so do that again. And then two hearts. And that second heart is apparently no expense whatsoever to draw that because it's really the same image being told to batch out at the same time. So as long as we have the same image, we don't really care about that. So we're going to be able to do the same thing with like the tree branches, with everything. You know, and it does make me wonder a little bit. Could I do that with like all of these? Make this like really could I just have these be white? And then because draw params, I can set the color, I could scale them. That could be really interesting. I could have just a single small line here as an image, and then we just sprite batch draw them all batch to the graphic system at one time. Maybe. Now that we know that we can do this, let's now replace these. So these hearts go away. That's in the player draw system. So here, if we have a life system, then draw these hearts. So I don't want to do that anymore. So they're gone. I now want to put those heart system over in their correct location. So we actually need to figure out where they need to go. So that's going to be in our main scene. When we're creating the hearts, we need to actually give it the proper location now, which means we need to know what the screen width is. Well, we have that. It's in the config. So we want to, And I think this is going to be the top left is the hearts. This is the point of combining your sprites into packed sheets. You could have all of your graphics in a single texture. Yeah, that could be really interesting too. And if I do that, does Sprite have tools to like easily combine the images together? Because it's nice to be able to like draw them separately. But then I do want to like maybe put them together into one image for that packed sheet. Then I could say draw this one image. Well, wait a second. Does that work? Because I guess you could tell it to draw one piece of an image. Because cloning an image is cheap. So maybe that would work too. I don't know. I need to play more with the sprite batch. But okay, this is gonna be config.resolution x. And I think we're doing this based upon the top left. So I want to subtract config.lifewidth times 3. And y, we're going to have u be 0.0. And so if I just do that, then I think that will show up the 2 hearts in the top right. Yeah, and with the space for the 3rd heart that we haven't yet created. And so then we can well, I don't want to create the hearts in the hearts draw system the way we have it here. This is a little bit clunky, and also this means that we're creating this every time we go through the loop, which is, I mean, that's just adding hearts every single time. We want to do this once. Basically, we want to, when we create the draw system, set up how many hearts we want to do. So we want to take in the images, which is a mutable reference to images. And then manipulate images here. And so I'm wondering, we don't want the sprite batch as part of images, do we? We want the sprite batch to be part of this. So basically just all the hearts is going to be a sprite batch. That hearts equals sprite batch new. Then we need to know how many lives we have, and then that's going to be how many hearts we create. So lives is going to be a U8. And then for I guess we do care about the count in 0 ... lives. We want to now add a new heart into the sprite batch. So we're gonna do heart.add. Oh, we do need to pass in the image. It's gonna be images dot life. Yeah, images.life. And I think we need to clone it. Okay, so then we have that. Then we're going to add in, and we have to give it the drop params of where we're going to add this in. So drop param, new, and then we can put the destination of this. Because right now that's all we care about, just changing the destination. So destination, X and Y. So the X is going to be, I guess you don't need to really care about this. We could have X as an F32 and Y as an F32 of like where this goes. And so we'll have X and Y going here. This is where it starts. This could be where it starts. Should it be the middle of it, or should it be like the top left? I'm not sure where I want to go there. I guess in this case, if I go at the top left, which is almost everything is top left except for the game object positions, but this isn't a game object position. So we can stay consistent with the top left for this, meaning that it's going to be X plus, so wherever the start from here is, plus our count times the width of this, the width of the heart. So we also need the width. It is an F32. Now I could just pass the config in, which is previously what I was doing. But I'm kind of feeling that just like passing all these individual things in is better than passing the config in. And probably a builder for this would be even better than this entire thing. Because we now have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 things. It's not all that awesome. But to get it this working right now, then we can refactor. And we're gonna have to change our test to work with this too. Okay, so given that, then arts add count plus our width. You're an F32. You're an F32. You're an F32. Oh, right, because count is, so as 32. And then the Y position doesn't change. And then we're going to store away the hearts. Then when we draw this, we don't have to add these in here. Instead, we just draw a reference to self.hearts and then an empty drop params because we don't really care about anything else. Okay, so I'm going to turn off this test temporarily. All right, to make this work, we now need to pass in all the things. So we need to pass in immutable references to the images, which, do we even have that here? In main scene, we don't have the images here. So we need that. Okay, so that allows us to pass the images in, the lives. So that's gonna be our config dot player lives. The X position. So where is this going? We actually see the hearts here. Makes me think that we need like instead of like game objects, like an interface struct would be better than like game objects for these. But okay, we have hearts. We know what our location is going to be here. I guess actually this doesn't need a. Well, I guess the location in game objects it needs a location, but it doesn't really care about that here. This is more of like in the draw system, where is it starting? And that's really going to be this. And I did 3, but really this is going to be that times config dot player lives. Okay, so then the y 0.0. The width is, oh, we have that config dot life width. Okay. That goes into here. Then our draw system will be drawn out. I should have a put into the config like where the player heart starts. Okay, so main scene, new config. Okay, so now into here we need to pass in mutable reference to images. Do mute images equals, need to be a reference to images. Images new. Okay, context and a reference to config. Unwrap. There. So then for testing purposes, this might even be nicer to have like a builder for main scene. Yeah, so like it sounds like all around centralizing where things build. So that way I can not pass the context in these tests. Would be really nice. But we're getting there. We're slowly like improving our architecture for games. Or at least I am. I know Utsby, you have a lot more experience in this arena than I do. Okay, main scene new. We need images. We have that down here. We're just going to move that up. So that way I can... Oh, you need to be immutable. So that way I can pass in immutable images to you. No problems here. A heart draw system. Mute hearts. All right, no problems. All right. Let's run this. See if we get 3 hearts. That's actually expected because the player lives is 7. I sort of forgot that we had set that up. But the idea now is that this is a much cheaper draw than previously, where we were drawing 7 times for the hearts. Now we're drawing 1 time for 7 hearts. Okay, so that's good. I want to clean up this code. We want to re-enable one of those tests, or at least figure out if we can do one of those tests. So in our heart system draw, we took out this test completely. I'm thinking, now that we have this entire thing with like so many, we probably want to use the builder pattern to build out our heart draw system. We know that we need images. Actually, we know we need the image that the heart draw system comes in as. So I don't think we need to pass in the images. I think we just need to pass in the image that we care about. And then after that, we can have defaults for all of these and then override them using the config, using the builder system. So if we do this, so CI test, and then I don't think we're going to be able to do a CI test for this if we actually have to have an image passed in. Can I create an image without a context at all? So can I do something like this? That image equals image new. Yeah, see, it needs a context and a path. I can't actually create like a sprite batch without an image. So this has to be a non-CI test for this, which means we need the config. All right, so let's grab that too. Config. And you're going to be... We're just going to sort of get a reference right away to config load. Okay. Then we're going to get the context from, you need to be immutable. You are the initialize. Pass in the config. Okay. So that, okay, we can actually load up the heart here. But we can really just... Yeah, I suppose we can just load up the heart here separately, images. So we could just get the heart image. And this is going to be the config dot life image. Dot unwrap. Okay, so now I have an image. Now we can build out our builder pattern and sort of get this pattern going. So heart draw system new, we know we have to pass in a heart image. We can't get around that. So we're going to give ownership to a heart image, which means we're going to have to clone it in the other side, but cloning should be cheap. It's an arc behind the scenes. But then we want to have defaults for everything else. And then we want to be able to override them. So I guess to begin with, we could just start with this and then assert equal that the heart draw system. So we're going to have that means we're going to have to store like lives, the X, the Y, and the width inside of here. And then I don't know if I can, the sprite batch, it does partial equal, but I don't think that means that I can like create a separate sprite batch. An image is private inside of it. Okay. So I'm not sure how I can like test that we have the sprite batch. I don't think we can. But what I can do is heart system, the rest of these defaults here. So we know we need lives, X, Y, and width. So heart system dot lives, and we know you should be, let's say as default, you're going to be 3. All right, so errors. Image new. You need to be a reference. Oh, this function takes 2 arguments. Oh, it also takes a context. Okay, and the path. Heart draw system new takes 5 arguments. Right, so we're working on that. We're working on that. So we want you to actually lives, X, Y, and width. You're all going to go away here. So you're fine. So assert equal, our heart draw system dot, what's next? X, Y, and width. So X is, let's say like 50, because we're going to override it. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe its default could be 0. Assert equal draw system dot y is also 0.0. And then assert equal our draw system dot width. We can say that you're 50 for right now. It's a nice even number, and we want to like override that and force the ability to override that. Okay, so now that I've captured what these are, we can remove you. So that's all we're taking in here. This also means, well, it doesn't mean that we can't do that. We're going to want to put this into a build. So I'm going to comment you out. Now, XY, so lives, XY, and width. Lives, you are a U8, it's F32, Y, F32, width, F32. And we can set all of these to have their default values. So lives 3x 0.0, y 0.0, width 50.0. Now I can't run this test yet because we have these other 3 errors. So we need to fix those first. Okay, so heart draw system new, heart image. Expected mutable references to images. We want to change that to actually be an image. Just taking ownership of a straight up image. And then this will just be the image. Maybe to make this a little bit, this is the heart image. Okay, so you're happy here. Now in main scene, we need to pass in not images anymore, but images.life.clone. And then we remove all the rest of you. You are complaining because we need to allow these type of compares. So allow. All right, no errors, which means I can run this as a test. All right, perfect. So this passes, meaning that we can now create the builder part for the rest of this. Now, I suppose what we can do is have write the build function next. So function test building our draw system. So we're gonna have to do the exact same thing. We're gonna create the new heart draw system. Then we're going to build it. And it should work just by default. So I think we can just do that build here. Like that. Okay, so that means that new returns... Okay, so that does return a new self. Build is going to take in self and then actually return the heart draw system, but with the sprite batch set. And I don't think in sprite batch we can't get the number of sprites that are set in there. And I don't know if there's... Oh, I guess we could store, and we probably want to store all of the added sprites and keep them in a vector, so we can check to see that those exist. And it looks like these are a sprite index. Sprite index. Okay, so it's just a U size. It's going to be literally just an index into that vector, it looks like. And so I think that's going to be like do like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3. Chantilly, hello. Okay, so we're gonna build this. Okay, so we need the function build. Let's do that first. You're gonna take a mutable self, and we're gonna return a new self. So right now, let's just return self. That'll make you happy. Now, to test to make sure that this works correctly, and knowing that our default is 3, I expect to have 3 indexes in our sprite batch. So that's what we can test for. We can then do part draw system dot indexes. So assert equal draw system dot sprite batch indexes that length is 3. Okay, so now we need sprite batch indexes. You're going to be a vector of sprite index, and we're going to start you off empty. Okay. So, I should be able to run this test and get a fail out of it. Right, okay, left is 0, right is 3. So it expects 3 sprite batch indexes there. So inside of build, we want to take this entire thing and move this down into here. So we could even move this here. So hearts is you. Makes you a little bit simpler now. For count in, okay, so this is gonna be self.lives, self.hearts, dot add, and then give it a destination, and then we have our count. This is gonna be self.x, self.width, and self.y. That gives us a sprite bash index. So let index equals, and we're gonna push that into self.sprite batch indexes dot push index. And at the end of this, return self. So now that same exact test should pass. Okay, perfect. And then we can test our overrides to make sure that those work as expected. And I think that's going to be very similar to this test. So test create draw system with overrides. So we have all that stuff. We create a new heart draw system, but then we add in things like the lives, because we have the heart image that goes in there. That's fine, but so we can say set lives. And maybe every time. Oh no, because we're gonna have like a remove life and do that. So like set lives, we'll probably like just override and set them. So okay, set lives, pass in maybe 5. And then we would expect your lives to be 5 now, and everything else to be the same. Lives is a U8. Turn self. Self.lives equals lives. And return self. I didn't run the test before to see it fail, which is not proper test-driven development, but I think we can trust it here. Okay, so we have set lives. Then we want to set the X. Set X. Set like location probably. And that's where we can take in we pass in the X and the Y separately. So in here we can do like 50.0, 55.0. And we'd expect you to be 50.0, 55.0. So our X, F32, our Y, F32, turn self, self.x equals X, self.y equals Y, and return self. All right, so still passing. Then we just have our width. So set width, pass in. So right now it's 50. Let's pass in like 100.0. All right, self.width, width, and return self. Okay, and that should pass, meaning that we can now use this builder pattern everywhere else. When we're creating this, and then we're gonna have to have when we lose or gain lives, we'll want to probably have a function that we call. in draw, we need some way of communicating that, like, hey, things happened. Time to remove a heart. And that's probably going to be in the game object for the heart. And it will probably update the draw system to let it know, hey, time for you to do one last heart. That makes a lot. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and that makes me happier that we're putting in a draw system, because that its update can handle that. All right, so with that, we have no errors, and that's because I think right now it's going to draw it in a completely different location. Let's test that. Oh, it didn't draw anywhere, because we're not running build. We're not running build on this. So that's in the main scene, I believe. We're creating hearts, game interactive builder, location, draw system. Okay, so hearts draw system. We give it the new heart. So images, life, clone. So that's here. And then we can do build on that. And that should work. We could run this again, and there's our hearts in the top left. And so then we can just override some of those defaults, and then it should appear in the top right as expected. So before the build, we do the dot. So set lives, we want you to be config dot player lives dot x set location, the x and the y. So we want our x to be config dot resolution x minus config dot life width times config dot player lives as f32. Then you, for the y, you're gonna be 0.0. So that sets our location. And then we also need our width. So set width, config dot life width. And nothing else broke, and we have all of our player lives up there in the right again. Okay, perfect. And everything else works as expected. All right. So, what would be next in this? Well, we don't even have a system for our player to get hurt yet, so I don't think we have to worry about that right now. But that's probably going to be like a future issue for us to update that and actually lose lives. But I think we're in a good position to be able to do that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get rid of some of these 14 warnings. So unused images, we don't need that anymore. We just go top to bottom here. Right, okay, so our draw system for heart draw system, you're not caring about any of these, so we can just underscore them. Our player draw system is taking in a life system. Well, I guess the player draw system, you don't have to care about this. And potentially we don't have to bring that into the draw system at all. It's possible that's only going to go into the update for game objects. Okay, so for mod, as type. Oh, because we're no longer setting the type here, so we don't have to care about that. And we don't care about you. And our main scene. Is player off screen right and left? These are no longer used because we're now using off screen left and right for each game object. No more errors. We have 62 infos. And I have to figure out how to tell. So I installed an extension for adding in words. I guess I could like add them to the dictionary. And then I won't care. And that's, let's see, add. Yeah, Rusty, you're fine. Oh my god, it's capturing. Okay, hold on. Let's close all these windows down. Maybe you won't care anymore. Yeah, you don't care anymore. All right, let's do one last test here. So cargo run. We can now run through the map. So then what I'm thinking of doing is now that we have the hearts as a sprite system, we can make the canopy an image and then use a sprite batch for that. Actually, the canopy sprite batch doesn't really make much sense. For this, I think we'll just have this be an image and it gets drawn out. We can have a single tree as an image, and then it can be sprite batched to be drawn just like these images, just like these are right here, but they'll be images now. We could then possibly do some fun sprite batch stuff with the backgrounds here, where we stretch them up or down. And so just have a single one, like maybe this bedrock here. And then that might be nice too. Our other choice is just to draw the background like we are right now, which is we already have this, and all of this as a single image in a sprite. We just draw that once. That's the same as the sprite batch. Probably even less. It's probably even less work for the graphics system then. And then also we're going to want to turn these pits into images because it turns out that images are cheaper to draw out than meshes in GGEZ at least. So that would be good. And then if we want 3 pits, which we are eventually, then this will allow us to sprite batch those as well. All right. So with that all being said and done, let's go ahead and push what we got out. Okay, so using sprite batch, draw all of the hearts at the same time. All right. Perfect. So with that, I think we're done for this morning. Tomorrow we'll continue on with updating, with this game and figuring out what we need to start working on. I think I might start working on this after work too, if I have time, and that's mostly just because I see the I got distracted. Hold on. What was I thinking about? Oh, first of all, I can end the stream. So if you're on